Hello. Hola, I should say. We are at another market in Guaymas, Mexico. I am on vacation here. Zeno is the cameraman. We don't have him mic today because some of you folks, when we did the live before, said it was a little bit conflicting as far as sound. So we're going to just try it this way. This is the midweek market. We're starting to figure out how things work around here. This Tianguis de la Centro de Guaymas, something like that. This is the central market. This is the midweek market. We've been told this one also may be pretty heavy in clothes and toys, but we're going to take a look, and then we're going to go to the old town square and look around there because this is an old town. This was settled in 1769, and there's some history here, but we'll talk about that when we get to it. It was breezy when we got here, and I've been looking at shirts thinking that maybe there'd be something here, and this one says thinner men, so I guess that's me. But actually it got warm while we were standing here, so I think we'll just carry on and see what we can find here. We have heard that on Sunday that there's a market in a neighboring town that is more known for antiques and vintage, so we're going to definitely try to hit that. We also have a viewer who is visiting family in Hermosillo who has invited us to come up there. That's the big city to the north of here, and apparently they have some markets there, some museums and some things that seem interesting. So we're just going to take a look around here and see what we find. It's definitely oh, hi there everybody. Who's here? Hey Rob. Hey Lorraine. Oh, Debbie, hi, nice to see you. Oh, very good. And nice to see you, and Dirt Road Memories is here. That's cool. Yeah, so we're just we're having fun. You know, we're taking a lot of time off, but today is a big YouTube day for us, actually, besides filming here because we wanted to see the market. Oh, Nate, hello, welcome. So from New Zealand to Mexico today. That's wonderful. We have you know, we've got some other stuff going on. We have our premiere tonight, our usual Wednesday premiere, and we have a new video for that. And our level 3 chat is going to be tonight also. So a lot of YouTube happening. Yeah, so, you know, today is our work day, but this is fun work. So that's why we're here. And let's see, I see some accessories. We are still trying to better understand, again, where the vintage markets are. And we're told the Sunday market in the neighboring town is the place to go, but I also need a pair of sunglasses. I might need a shirt. So we figured we'd look through here and see if there's anything antique and vintage along the way. Carcahuates, what is it that you see? Oh, yes, yes. That's right. Hello. Hola. It's funny, people are very friendly and wanting to be actually in pictures here, which is great. I'm used to the States where people go and try to hide. So let's see, I see some coffee mugs there. Oh yeah, over here too. Yeah, we find some housewares. Is there anything we need for the apartment? We actually rented a little flat. We didn't stay in some resort on the beach. So we actually have cooking facilities and things. Nescafe. Mm-hmm.
Oh, happy Father's Day.
Ah, very nice. If your father is a soccer playing lion.
And if you're in Hawaii, which we're not.
Okay, these are Corel, so these are actually vintage and a pattern. I always like the way that these just sort of hung on the edge of stuff. So, well, we found something vintage. Is this Corel ware also? Is that cornflower? Oh, it's just the plain white. Okay, well, that is actually something anyway. For starts, at least we have. Well, this seems to be mainly newer stuff. Yeah, I think these they look like recent. Yeah, they're pretty recent. There is definitely old stuff to be found in the area from what we're hearing. Old Tonka truck. All the decals are kind of worn off of that one though. Bunch of bobbleheads, but those are going to be more recent. I do look for teams that aren't there anymore though. If they have the Seattle Sonics, for example, we would pick that up. Let's see. Yeah, let's see back in here. They definitely have more in the way of housewares and things in this place. So you never know what we'll find. Oh yeah, yeah. This is actually a very good iron. It's not It's not vintage, but Rowenta is a good name. You recognize. Is it back?
Yep, we're back.
Oh, good. Yeah. Sorry. We'll do our best. We never know what the reception will be. Yeah. Solid state. Wow. Well, we'll just have to do our best, folks. And thank you for persevering with us here. This dealer here has some bicycles. I see shoes over there. And lots and lots and lots and lots of clothes at these places. I am really surprised how heavy the clothes are. And there are vintage clothing stores that buy this stuff and take it to the bigger cities in Mexico to sell. Oh, this? Looks like something Peg Bundy would have worn. I could use a robe, but I don't think that's exactly my style. I don't think I can pull that off. Let's see what else we have around the corner. Lots of toys here. Again, these seem like more recent stuff. Watch your step there. One thing you do learn here is that streets can be uneven, and so you do actually have to look down as well as at things when you're walking around. There's a ton of Barbies. I don't know if I see anything that's really old, but let's look really quickly just in case. Oh yeah, those all have those bright blue painted eyes, so those are going to be more recent vintage. Okay, more toys around here. These are obviously places a lot of families go, and they've got a lot of new cookware that's nice. Yeah. Secletas, 3 for 100 pesos. So pesos basically right now are about 10 pesos is roughly 50 cents. So, 1 peso is a nickel, and you kind of figure it from there. So about when you see these numbers, divide by 20, and that's what you're paying in American dollars. And that's useful to know because you have to be able to do, I've noticed this when I go to Canada as well, you have to be able to do the exchange rate on the fly in your head so that you know what you're actually paying. Because otherwise it's easy to think you're getting a great deal or pass things up because you think they're expensive, and then you find out, oh no, not really. This is interesting. If you live near the market, you can just open up and be part of the market. So these folks are actually selling off of their porch. Okay, these are all, yeah, so like a shirt is basically $1. So the deals are good if we can find what we're looking for here. Oh yes. Yeah, pretty but not old. Not old enough for what I look for anyway. Let's see what this is. They seem to have a lot of team jerseys. I thought this might be Green Bay Packers, but oh my. Mas grande. Or muy grande, I should say. I am very pigeon with Spanish, so you'll have to forgive me. For those of you who are Spanish speakers, you will be very disappointed. I've always said that I massacre foreign languages, and Spanish is one of them. So, oh, let's see what Christmas they have, since we're in the season and a lot of people are having live sales with Christmas. I want to see if I recognize anything. Hola. Hola. Okay, mostly new things. Lots of wreaths. Watch your step there. Yeah, lots of wreaths, lots of little trees, lighting, but nothing really vintage. Grapes? Christmas grapes, yes. Plastic grapes.
Not old.
Not old enough, but definitely there are people buying plastic fruit, which I find so funny. I remember the wax fruit when I was a kid, and I remember taking a big bite out of a wax apple at a friend of my grandmother's house and being very disappointed, and so were they, because I guess I was supposed to know they weren't edible. Jingle bells. Oh, they could be almost any age, really. Yeah, cute little ornaments. That might be an older one. I can't tell for absolute certain, and I'm afraid I would break it walking around. Well, I do too. See, that's the thing. I remember the things that were sold in Mexico when I was a kid and we would come here, and they were selling El Tonalá, the pottery that everyone collects now. That was new, and wrought iron pieces. But that was, in the 1970s when those things were brand new. So I'm sure at some place we're going to run into a market that has that sort of thing. More of that. Oh, and thank you for whoever had the suggestions about the plantains. Wow, there's some flash. I don't think I could pull that off either. Yeah, thank you, by the way, whoever had the suggestion about how to make the plantains. They were delicious, and I might actually end up getting more. This market is not so much of a produce market, it seems. I see a little bit, but not too much. Yeah, there's a little bit over here, kind of usual things, cabbage and carrots and eggs. Eggs are, yeah, 2 cartons of eggs, as you see here, and that is the equivalent of about $2. So prices are definitely cheap on some things here if you know where to look. Oh, $5? See, again, got to get that exchange rate thing in my head correctly. Okay. Oh, here we go. I see something that's vintage. The classic 1970s fondue set in a great color, actually. And they got it at G, our favorite thrift store. Oh, that's fun. It does not have the forks with it or the stand, though, so I'm going to leave that one. But that's funny to see that here. I wonder if fondue was ever really a thing here. They have lots of delicious queso that we don't see in the States, and so maybe that was a thing. I'm not sure. Okay, a lot of new electronics and things in here. I do need a pair of sunglasses, but I haven't seen any of those yet. Over here we have some vintage things. I see the semifinals World Cup are on, and France is ahead. This is a neat poker set, and these actually sell for a lot new in the States, but this is pretty contemporary. Yes, you can see all the guys are surrounding the... Oh!
Let's not get caught.
I am a football fan, so that's my little chance to catch up on the game. Oh, isn't that cool? That looks like fun. Oh, we better let this person go by here. There we go. Well, we can follow these cars down the side street and see what they have. Okay, I see. Yes. Okay, I see soccer cleats. I see flowers. That's nice. Some lovely roses and things. There definitely is some agriculture around here, even though we're in the desert. This is one rare place that has some water, and between that and the harbor is why there's a city here. Oh, let's see. Yeah. If you have any questions, folks, let us know. Well, we are in Tianguis del Centro de Guaymas, which is the midweek market in the center of Guaymas, Mexico. This is in Sonora. This is about, are we 4 hours south of? Yeah, 4 hours south of Nogales, Arizona. It's as far as you can drive into the country without having to pay to import your car. And that was a lot of the appeal, is that we were able to drive here and have a way to get around without having to have a rental car, without having to stay at a beach resort. And, you know, I have to admit, I'm not really I love the beach, and we've gone and there's been some really beautiful places to go, but I'm not really a sit in a hotel kind of guy. I like to get out and see things. Oh, little Oscar, yes. Yeah, that's probably 70s or 80s. Oh yeah. We have an awful lot of those, though, in the States. So unless we need one, I don't necessarily need to bring it back. More toys. Is that My Little Pony over there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
New.
Newer. Okay. Okay. Glad you recognize that. Hello, everybody. I'm not a puppet master. We can tell. Let's see. So,
Peppa Pig.
yes, that's right. And Lots of stuff from the movie Cars. You know, a lot of this stuff, again, in the future will be collectible, but we have to let this generation get old enough. You know, the people who were little kids are just hitting adulthood, so they're not quite ready to buy stuff from them yet. Tools, you know, I would look at tools. You never know. There could be something like old woodworking planes or something. So we'll take a look really quickly. It may be more functional stuff, but we'll just cross quickly here. We're learning you just go when you have a chance around. You don't wait to be asked. Oh, that's an old piece from Long Beach, Dresden Manufacturing. That's quite a draw knife there. Yeah, so it might be. This is a fishing village. It has that look to it. Everything else looks like it's just more functional than old. So, all right, let's see what we have here. These folks, it's interesting. They're actually pushing a wheelbarrow of. They're actually pushing a wheelbarrow full of vegetables around and selling to the other vendors here, which is interesting. Ah, okay. So let's see in here.
This is like video game power cords.
Yes, mainly, but I'm not sure. I hope it's okay to open this. I don't see the vendor. Yeah, I'm gonna take a look at this. They have a Ford plant in Hermosillo, so this is the front of one of those. It's not wildly old. I suppose I don't really need it, but it's something that would sell, honestly. Yeah, I don't know that I need to have it. One of the reasons that we're able to drive down here is because we're in the free trade zone. They built a Ford car plant in Hermosillo, and they make small trucks and things there that they send all over the world, including the United States. Let's, if we can. Okay, here's our chance to run across the street. There we go. Yes, I don't want to get me or the cameraman run over, but I see a bunch of stuff over on the side here that's a little more our era of things. Yes, yeah, there's lots of that sort of thing. Now this is old. Yeah, there are taco carts down the street. We might go to peckish. This is a 1950s or 60s English teapot, but not the right lid. Let's see what else we might have here. The Queen, long live the Queen. These are newer, I'm pretty sure. This is one where you have... And there is a... Oh, yes.
Is that her again? The same?
It's
the same. This was up there.
I think so, yeah. Well, I'm sure the reason they have three of these is so that the vendors can go from place to place and sell in different venues. And let's see what else there might be here. You know the rule, of course, if you can find other things, you bundle. That's stamped and cute but newer. Now these, they say Korea, but they actually have an interesting modernist look. And Korea started doing metalwork in the 80s, so I actually think those are old enough to get, and I like the style. So we're gonna see what they'll do on these. And the copper luster piece, unfortunately, because of the chips, is not something that we can do.
What channel is it?
I'm on YouTube.
Oh, really?
Yes, yes. Yeah, I do a channel about going and looking for old things in different places, and I found some things of yours I'd like to buy.
All right, good. Son youtubers, los dos. Hacen así por todo el mundo. So you walk around the world?
Yeah, we walk around and show people old things and where you can find them, and talk about what they are and what they can do. I'll write my channel down. Is it okay that we're filming you?
You don't have a card.
I don't have one with me. What? Yeah, how much, please?
50 y 20.
Okay.
70.
So 50 y 20 is
70.
yes. Gracias. Okay, somewhere in here I have, there we go.
So they pay you for this?
Well, we do it because
I want a China too.
yeah, yes, it's fun. It's interesting. I do get paid now because I have a lot of people who follow me. I started it just because I wanted to tell people about things and show them old things.
How many
And
people you need to make money?
1,000. Mm-hmm. Yes, 1,000, and they have to watch you for a certain amount of time, and then then they pay you. Oh yes. Oh, it's cute, but too big.
Yeah, have them write it down. Ask him for your.
What day you think I can see this?
Do you have a? Oh, we're doing it live, so by tonight it will be on. And yes. So where is? Do you have a pen, boligrafo? I was going to write down the channel for you.
Nobody have a pen.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. The Antique Nomad live.
So what's your name?
I'm George. What's your name?
Jose.
Jose. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, sir.
And you are Gabriel? Oh, very nice. Oh, Carmen. Oh, gracias. I'm not. Mi español is malo. That's part of being here is to practice. Yes. Well, thank you very much.
Okay. I like your shirt.
Oh yes, yes. It's. See. Thank you. Well, that was fun, and they had some fun things. I like what we got. So at 70, that was. So 70 works out to about $3.50, I think, for those two items. Yeah, so $3.50, and that's a wonderful price to pay. Yeah, I like these side streets. They seem like they have a little more of what we look for. We'll come back and see this. Watch your. The glass. Oh, I see. Yeah.
What is this?
These are interesting. Now, see, these are not familiar to me because these are made in Mexico. There is a glass industry in Mexico. These are marked Envisa. I know Crisa was a big company here. I think this one has the Crisa mark. And we see these coming into the United States about the 1980s and 90s, but I haven't seen this pattern before. I like that with the fish. It's very happy. I think that's fun. Yeah, that one's sweet if you like roses.
Is this one of the ones that like the?
It's screen painted. I'm not sure what you mean by Zeno's asking if it had product like a jelly glass or something. I'm not sure. I don't necessarily think so. I like these two. They just are a little more modern looking. I don't know. I think someone would think they were fun.
Is that okay?
Yep. That's just the pattern. It looks like the condition is good. I think just for fun, let's ask.
Okay.
Hola.
¿Cuánto lo paso? ¿A 5 pesos?
¿5? Sí.
10 pesos.
Sí. 5 y 5.
Bueno, yo tengo uno igual.
Okay.
Gracias.
Gracias. ¿Lo echa allí o una bolsita?
Un bolsa, por favor. Gracias.
¿Ese es aquí?
Yes, sí, right there.
Thank you very much.
Gracias. Thank
Bye.
you very much. Well, that was fun. Yes, watch the mud here. No, I'd like to see over here, I think. So we're going to just keep going here. You hear lots of dogs. The funny thing is you see dogs everywhere here, and they tend to be very friendly. They only bark when they're kept inside. When they're outside running around, you don't hear them barking at all. Yeah, I wanted to see what this was. I think it's pretty new, and it's a very odd design. Look at that. It's an egg on a... I'm not sure what this is trying to be. Oh, yes. Well, I think it was handmade. It doesn't look like a machine-made piece. A basket with... and an egg. Very peculiar. I give that credit for originality. I don't know what else to say about it.
Nope.
Oh yeah, this is glass. This actually looks like it's an older piece. This looks like it's peach luster from the early 1960s. It's very worn. Peach luster was a surface finish, so it did tend to wear out. Usually these would be Fire King, but this looks like it says Termacula. So this must be a Mexican version of the peach luster we see in the United States, but not for me. Okay, so now I guess we can go back into the main street and see what there is. Hair rollers?
Hair roller kit.
Oh yes, yeah.
People pay a lot for it.
I don't know. I don't exactly understand that. It's funny. I do estate sales, and I know some people do pay money online for hair roller kits. But when I've had estate sales, never have sold one because everyone says, "Ooh, I don't want to use something that someone else has used." Okay, so this is a morning market and we're in the middle of the day. So we're going to have to look through the rest fairly quickly, which is fine because I don't know that we'll find, adios, Carmen. Well, they know I'm an American doing the best I can. Oh yeah, octopus, that's funny. This is a seacoast town and a fishing town originally. So let's see what else they might have down here. And then we have one other little street, and then we can go into the old part of town and show that. I think if we stayed at one side of the street here. Well, I'm glad that we found a few little things. That's fun. And 10 pesos for those 2 glasses is definitely a flea market price. Yep. Yeah, so a quarter a piece. So that's like a thrift store price. We like that. Cafe con crema. I don't drink coffee, but ooh, horchata. What's that? Maybe on the way back. I'm afraid to hold something in the other hand and try to drink and talk at the same time. It's funny. You may not see it because I try to be careful when I'm videotaping, but I can be a little clumsy. So. Ah, yes, I see. My favorite kind of shoes, but I think they're all too small. Ah, gracias. Someone let us across the street. That's very nice. Oh, yes. Yeah, see, I would have bought those if they were my size. That's definitely my style. Converse. But of course, they still make these, so. Oh, yeah. Oh, yes, All-Star Grande. 14. Wow, well, that's too big for either of us. Maybe. You were a 13, right?
Yeah, but depending on the size.
Yeah, that might fit.
What about these?
Yeah, those are Converse, too.
11 and a half.
I know an antique dealer in Florida who wears nothing but these, and I'm sure he'd snap all of these up if they were his size, but I don't know what buying. I mean, there's definitely a market in the States for these, but you know, I only know certain, watch your step here, certain. Let's go this way because we can get back into the rest of the market this way. Here's a lot of little stuff on a blanket, and I always, so emblems from a car. Some sort of a trunk opener. Dolphin depth finder for a boat. Some of the, if those are older, those actually sell for vintage just for. Okay, so if any of you folks out there have questions about anything you're seeing too, please ask, because I can't see the screen and Zeno will monitor that and try to communicate that to me. Lots of very pretty plants. Oh, these are very orange. I do too. I like those a lot. Actually, I like pretty much all flowers. I'm a sucker for those. And a lot of succulents. Even the ones that stink. I don't have to put my face in them necessarily. And poinsettias that actually are in bloom because they get the right amount of sun here for it. Okay. Well, I think if we go to the main street, we might see some more things, and we'll see if there's anybody else who might have something for us. Watch your step here. I'm trying to watch out for both of us because I know you're trying to hold the camera and focus, so we don't want any. Well, yes, there's an event center near us, and so they're actually. Oh yeah, here's a. Yeah, here's another Rowenta steam hire. I did have, yeah, and I think we got $40 or $50 for that in an estate sale, maybe more. Yeah, maybe more. Oh, that's right, and then we sold it online. Yeah, it came from an estate sale. It didn't sell, then we sold it for the client online. Parfum, but this seems to be mostly Avon. Okay, we've been in here. So we're going to go up to the corner and see, yeah, you can tell the market is getting close to closing because everyone is driving through. The other market is in an area where there are not streets, so we don't have as much traffic to contend with. Oh, Horaces.
Eddie Bauer.
Yeah. Yeah, see, I have to say that for someone in the States who knew what they were looking for in terms of zapatos, shoes, you would maybe do very well here shopping. And they even have a shoe mirror so you can see how fabulous they look.
Yes.
Mine are not that fabulous, so I won't demonstrate. Yeah, there's an event center near us, and so they actually had a big party, and so we could hear music from the living room of where we were staying, and it was lively and fun. We haven't been out to see a mariachi band or flamenco dancing or anything like that at this point. What? What am I? Oh. Oh, well, yeah, the poor old Aerostar. That looks only slightly worse than mine did after I drove them into the ground. Nah. They were wonderful, and I wish they still made them. I would buy another one if it was not so old that the wheels were falling off. They were very good for the kind of business that I run with that heavy chassis. I could take anything in them. Okay. More clothes. Ooh, some sort of water situation here. It hasn't rained here the whole time we've been here, and it doesn't rain here much, so this must be coming from somewhere else. Hello.
Look, pigeon taking a bath.
Yes, and I guess we're going to join it. That looks like clothes, and since it's all wet, let's just go straight. Ah, yes, let's look at this table. Everything here is 10 pesos, so that's 50 cents each. Nice weight, but that's newer. I see people on YouTube selling these, but when you see this, see how sort of rough it is? That's definitely newer, and the seams are really, really bad, so that's not something that would interest me. Oh, interesting. Yeah, here we are. You cannot get away from the Kentucky Derby anywhere you go. We drove all the way here from Kentucky, and here it is. And this was May of 2018. Is that the one? No, that's not the one I went to. I think 2019. Well, I went to the Thursday thing. Oh, this is cute. Jesse Brown made this. That's just sort of sweet, probably from the 80s when dinosaurs first started to be a thing. And then this is... Oh, yes. Now this is old. This is old pressed opalescent glass from about 1910. It has a chip. Otherwise, that would be a great deal for 50 cents. And this also has a crack, but this is 1972 Ohio State Buckeyes, and there's a lot of people who are fans of them. This one, I don't do well with wheat etch glass. For some reason, the wheat etch patterns just don't sell in my world. Shot glass, but that's not old. Well, there were a few almosts here, but I don't see anything I really need. But worth a try. And they do have a lot of other things. They have another table with glass and objects on the other end, so we'll take a look at that too.
Oh, here.
Yes. Oh, wait a second. Bucilla with a little bit of gold in it. This is older, and there are people who buy this. This is definitely something that I see people selling online.
Get it.
Oh, would you use it? I mean,
No, but people buy it.
yeah,
Get it.
they do. I might. We'll see what else there is. We'll see if there's anything else, and then maybe we'll buy some yarn. Let's see. Okay, yeah, these are Japanese, and they actually are noritake. And the Rose Marie is a very pretty pattern, but hard to sell because of that silver edge. This is very cute. This is 1930s or 40s, the Dutch girl with the Scotty dog, probably 1940s, both those motifs. It's interesting. They were trying really hard to sell this because Dutch girls were popular and Scotty dogs were popular, so why not both? I'm not sure they have Scotties in Holland, but it's a little worn. I would get it otherwise. This looks like one of the ones that, oh, here's some sunglasses. I told you I needed sunglasses. What do you think, everybody? Is it me? I do wear strange sunglasses. This definitely looks like something odd. Yeah, I kind of like those. I'm sure they're not old, but I do need a pair for here, and people will look at me strangely, and that's kind of fun sometimes. This is Moroccan amethyst from the 1960s, and if they had more of it, I don't want just a single, but that is a collectible pattern. Oh, this is from Holland, or from one of the cruise lines, Holland America, I think. Yeah, because it's got their logo in it. Let's see. Crazy Ed's Satisfied Frogs Saloon and Restaurant, and that is Galaxy, which is made in Mexico, but it looks a lot like Fire King. This piece is actually, I believe, I think this is Orchard Ware, which was made by, or not Orchard Ware, Hollywood Craftsman, made by Metlocks, I think. Hey, we have a billboard with that ad George is wearing near my house. Oh, yes.
That came from Paducah.
Yeah, that's where we see it too. Oh, thank you.
The green thing. The green thing.
Oh, the little, yeah, this is probably from the bicentennial because it's a little toothpick and it's got the eagle on it. And then this is not old, but it definitely has a Muertos figure. I have a friend who would like that. A tequila glass. Well, I think of everything here. Well, that is Fostoria American. You definitely have picked out something that is collectible pattern. The sherbets are not easy sells these days. This is also an old American pattern. This is, I believe this is June because of the big bow knot. This used to be a very valuable pattern, and this is how much? Let's see. One is 15, two is 25. Mary Royal wants to know where you're headed after Mexico. Well, we'll let you know when we get there. We're not exactly sure yet, Mary. This is probably worth buying at that price, even though clear doesn't sell that much anymore. This used to be a very valuable pattern, and so there's still people who will buy the larger pieces at some price. So I think that's a yes. Made in Mexico, chipped. Oh, I see. Okay. This is older too, but again, these star etches and things, a lot of these were done by jewelry stores. So it was done in a particular area. And so they're hard to match because they only were done in one locale. I remember these when I was a kid. These were shrimp cocktail glasses that you would keep.
Oh, you already grabbed that.
I showed that. Oh, hey, treasure craft. Petrified Forest. This is one of their advertising pieces from the late 70s, early 80s in the butterfly pattern. And it says PIC because it was a pottery craft blank, but then they actually decorated it.
I'm gonna get it.
It's cheap enough. I think I just can't pass it up, actually. So we'll take that. And besides, I have a funny memory of the Petrified Forest. This has a nice look, but I don't think it's old. These stark colors have been really popular the last few years, but I think that's changing. And those of you folks who see the level 3 tonight, we'll talk about that. Okay, now this is interesting to me only because it's not terribly old, but it's Pontiac, and Pontiac is not made anymore. And because of that, I think that this might actually be something for a car collector, and there's 2 of them, so we'll put those aside. So we're finding a few little things here. And we still have the other end of the table, so let's take a look there too. This is 1980s, I believe. California pantry. Oh, it's even newer. It's Chinese, offshore recent. Darmstadt. Oh, Donaustadt, yes. And then we have these beach lovers here. Apparently wine and beach lovers as well. Copyright Jan. I haven't heard of that design. Not to be mistaken with the singer who I love. This had a figure on it that said you're outstanding in your field, but it's not standing anymore. I see one more thing that, strangely enough, even though it's a beam decanter, might be worth getting. We'll take a look.
These flippy things.
Yeah, they're a good idea, but they're new. Those little flippy votive candles. But I'm going to take a look here. Oh, are we back now? Did we cut out? I was just saying that the beam bowling pin decanters, this one's missing its top and it's worn, so I wouldn't buy it in this condition, but it's one of the few Jim Beam decanters that sells consistently because of bowling collectors. And so I think we have our little pile here, so let me take these up and see what they would like.
You have 4 or 5.
I have 5. Hello.
Muy bien. ¿La gente también se va?
They were...
Okay. The egg plate is broken.
Yes. Yeah, the egg plate has a chip in it, so I left it be. And so the nice thing is that when you're doing business, you find some way to get past the language barrier, so we'll get a amount here soon. And he's wrapping in a nice glass. That's very good. There were 4.
Oye,
4.
¿los relojes cuántos están?
Well, two vasos, 2 watches, and sunglasses, yes.
Mándega. Llamero. ¿Ustedes también?
Gracias. Okay. So that was 100 pesos.
George is not bargaining.
No, and you know, this is a moment, this is a teachable moment. Dr. Lori would be very angry with me right now because I didn't offer a lesser price. Well, there's a couple of things that work with that. First of all, 100 pesos is $2.50. So I paid 50 cents a piece for those items.
It's not $2.
Is it not? Oh, I'm sorry, it's $5. See, I'm still not getting this right.
Math is math.
Yes.
not instead.
Yes, I don't know why I'm getting this confused. I'm thinking 10 to the dollar. It's or anyway, I'm getting confused. The point is,
He paid $5,000.
right, exactly. I paid $100. Now, I paid $1 a piece for those items. Now, first of all, I think the watches alone are probably worth in our country. I will expect to get $15 to $20 each just for the 2 watches. So am I going to begrudge someone who is living in, trying to make a living, being a reseller like I am, living in a country where, yes, the cost of living is lower, but the income is even lower than the cost of living is lower, proportionate to ours? No, I'm not going to do that to them. If it was a price that I wasn't sure I was willing to pay, then we would negotiate. Besides which, as I'm fond of talking about, I picked up a platinum necklace that was priced at a sterling price once. And instead of paying the price, I said, would you take less? And they looked at it and said, oh, this is platinum. We can't sell it to you. And I lost out on $150 for doing that. So, you know, sometimes you just pay the price. Okay, let's see what else there is here. Looks like mainly newer things. Some housewares over here. A George Foreman grill. This seems to transcend all cultures. What
It's
is
a hairbrush for you.
Oh, well, I certainly could use one, but that is for air curling, and I don't really need that.
No, it's an air. You blow dry your hair
while you're styling and curling it. And it does look like an old mace. You're correct about that. I wanted to show one thing just because they apparently transcend all countries and cultures.
Oh, yeah.
2 lean mean fat grilling machines by George Foreman.
The top of the thing there.
Oh yes, the top of a lava lamp. But I just, the George Foreman grill is similar to the Penguin hot cold cooler. You will see it in every single estate that you go to. They actually work great. Once in a while I even sell one at an estate sale, but they just seem like the thing that everybody had to have for a moment. All right, let's see what's left because we're getting near the end of the market here. Oh yeah, no, there's a lot left. This is bigger than I thought. Well, I'm just pleased that we're finding some things. You know, you have to try stuff to learn where the vintage might be, and we're finding a little today. I hope you folks are having fun doing this with us. Oh yes, quite a lot of perfume and cologne I smell. Let's see, we have, these are a nice rich color. This is not a pattern I recognize from the States, so this is probably made here. It's pretty. I don't know that I could match more. There's a bunch of Compras, however. Let's see how old that is. These are painted like Compras from France. They seem newish, so yeah, they do have the Enroi Compare France mark, and the casserole particularly is good. These are not wildly old, but a lot of this cottage style is supposed to be coming back in 2023. So the big serving piece is definitely of interest. Oh, hello.
I'm looking at the utensils and I'm thinking, as I'm listening to you with your talk, these are very different.
They are, aren't they? Yeah, George and Martha, yes. And those are older. Those are probably from the 1940s or 50s. This is fun. Have you been to this market before?
Oh, yeah. I lived here for 7 years or so.
Oh, that's wonderful. What's it like living here?
Oh, it's wonderful.
Yeah.
I really like Guaymas. Yeah. No Guaymas.
Uh-huh.
No Gringolandia.
Yeah, that's what we've been talking about. This is our first time here, and we came specifically here rather than there for that reason. We wanted to feel the culture and see what it was really like to be here day to day. So
it's fun. And, you know, it's like there's just so many things that are very typical. They love to be in crowds. They love to rub elbows. They love to stand in line for hours at the bank just so they can talk to each other. Now, you know, you and I probably, we would pick, you know, I mean, this is at the ATM.
Oh, yes.
Let alone.
Interesting.
So wouldn't you go at like 8 or 9 o'clock at night or 7 o'clock
to try to avoid the line, right? That's the American style. Interesting, because it's a social thing. Well, that's wonderful in a way, isn't it?
We heard that
as long as you have the time.
Market is good too.
I've been there twice. It's a lot bigger than this one.
Oh, is it larger?
Okay.
Oh, very good.
It's on Sunday.
Okay.
Ah,
We found that online, yeah.
And somewhere on Saturday there's a San Carlos one. But I went once with somebody who drove me. Some girl drove me there, so I didn't really pay attention where it is. So I couldn't be able to tell you. And then I think they have another one in a different spot on Friday night.
and San Carlos
But
also.
they're smaller.
Right, because it's a small town and all
Yeah,
that. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Oh, well, thank you. Oh, this is delightful. Very nice to meet somebody. I'm very, very nascent in my attempts to speak Spanish, so it's nice to speak to someone who's had this experience.
Well, my Spanish is, even after all these years, I still practice at night. I read some books. I try to listen to Mexican TV and all that. But, you know, unless you're put into a situation where you're face to
You
face,
have to put yourself
oh
in
my
the
God,
culture, otherwise it's not the
It will not
same.
come out of your mouth. And you understand a lot of what they say, but man, when you want to say something back,
It just
it's
doesn't
tough.
come. Yes, I don't get it
So,
right.
Actually, I come here maybe every Wednesday or every other Wednesday. A friend of mine has a booth up here.
Oh, very good.
And in fact, she's a friend of mine because I met her in the hospital in Hermosillo, where my husband was in the hospital and her son was in the hospital. So we hooked up by accident, and then she said, "Oh, I've seen you at the swap meet, you and your husband." And I said, "Oh, okay, well, whatever." And then, well, anyways, sorry to say, but he died, and so she became my adopted mother.
Oh, how nice.
Afterwards.
Oh, that's
So
wonderful.
She just today invited me over for Christmas because she knew I was going to be alone. So.
Oh, that's great. Oh, it's so nice to, yeah, when you are in a place and you really start to connect, it feels more like home.
Early on, right after, so in May, she died in April, and in May, she invited me over to her niece's quinceañera. You know,
Oh, yes, the quinceañera.
Yeah. So, that was like quite the experience.
Oh, I bet it
my
was. That's a
God.
big, big deal. I
It is a
know.
big
I ran an antique mall next to a store that was a Mexican bridal shop in Washington State. And quinceañera, I mean, when it was the season, everybody came in and they did it up big.
And
so
no expenses barred on this girl.
right.
Yeah,
It's the debutantes. Yes,
No
exactly.
expenses barred.
Oh,
Then I have this other guy. He's a computer repairman, right? He had two daughters. They were, one was going on 15 for her quinceañera, and the next one down was 14 year old, a year apart. And the daughter said, the 14-year-old said, "I don't want that money for quinceañera, all that you spent on her." She said, "Just buy me a used car." So
oh, that's great. They didn't. She was smart. Yes, exactly. It's like having a big lavish wedding and then paying the debt for 10 years, right?
So that girl was pretty slick, man.
Oh, well.
That's what they did.
Well, thank you. What's your name?
Linda.
Linda. Well, I'm George, and thank you so much for talking to us. This is great.
I don't know how long you can be here. What do you do?
Another week.
I can point you towards other things. If you want like a restaurant that has close by, you know, I know everything close by because I walk. Oh, you're in Miramar?
Yeah.
All the way down here, so no, that's probably. But see, that's the other part that I really don't know, except for the beach, which burned down.
It was a cheap Airbnb, that's why.
The beach. Yeah. We saw that there was a fire in the hut. Yeah.
They saw it on,
Yeah,
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, that was a shame.
Well, get your phone number.
Oh,
and then you have WhatsApp.
Yes, I do.
We know that everybody does that.
Well, and those that don't should, because you know that's the only way that I can send pictures, videos, things to my family. And those that don't have it, it's like
Just do a notepad.
yeah, and like
Notes,
I'm not
okay.
very good at this either, so you might
I'll
have
tell you what.
George will message
I don't have Wi-Fi, so if there's a way,
Just type it out.
yeah, if you can tell me how we can reach you, I'll send you a message later. That one there. Okay, I'll just put that down. Okay.
622.
Okay, 1766, and I see the other one. We won't go. Very good. Thank you. Thank you very much, Linda. Well, it's a pleasure. Thank you. Yes, very much appreciated. Yeah. Yeah. Well, happy hunting.
I live actually in the marina here.
Oh, in the marina, yeah. Yeah.
The little tiny Guaymas marina docks.
Oh, have fun.
But I'm not on the docks. I'm up on the pier, on the hard.
Okay, we're going there after this.
Yes. Okay, so we've got that. They have this. Now this one's Italian. That is not French compare. I do like the little tray. So we're going to see how the prices are on these, and we might have a buy. We'll take a look here. I don't see anything else on the table that we need, so we will go see what we can do about these. Okay, let's see where our seller is. I'm thinking it might be that lady in the back.
George will message you later. We're gonna keep filming and walking around. And we'll,
Absolutely, nice to meet you too.
Yeah, thanks, Linda.
Okay, let's see where our vendor is. Hello.
Hola.
Hola.
Por los dos, 100 pesos.
100?
Los platos que están enfrente, Lili.
Okay, so that was 100 pesos, and we're going to see what we can do to wrap these. Okay, well, while they wrap those, we'll take a look at some other stuff. Yep, little brass candlestick that Zeno has found there. So, well, thank you for indulging us while we spoke with that gal. Oh, I see these often in our area, though, and they're Taiwan. They're 80s. They're fine. People are buying them. And it is definitely a style that's coming on, but I just spent 100 pesos on something even better. 20%, okay. Well, we'll just keep shopping through. As soon as they wrap this, we'll carry on to the next place. I'm very happy with the two compare pieces. 100 pesos is the equivalent of $5. And we're getting some bags, which we need. Gracias. Well, that was a wonderful buy. I've got them.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I have to say this has been more exciting than I thought as far as merchandise, and it was very interesting to meet an American who has spent a lot of time here. I definitely am enjoying Mexico, and I could spend more time here myself. We have to, of course. Oh yes, I could do, but my hands are getting a little full. I think I'll stick to this until we maybe get back to the car before I buy anything else big to carry. Let's see, they have some glass, but that looks pretty ordinary, and the toys look newer here. I find that, yeah, this is very narrow here, actually. Old clock, which is not really working. Oh yeah, these are from somewhere here, but I don't think it's anything that I need. Oh yes, the old Ronson lighter. Gracias. Actually, that's a perfectly fine price. If it didn't have a dent, I would give him the equivalent of $3. All right, so wow, this place does really go on. This is much bigger than the other market we went to, and I see where this is more of a place to find older items, so that's helpful as well. Oh, here's a lot of Tlaquepaque made ceramics. All of the cookware. These are new pieces, but they've been made in that style for many decades, and there are collectors for the older pieces. I don't actually need any because I have, oh, gracias. Yeah, he said barato, which means cheap, but I have a lot of that for sale in Centralia, Washington already. So, because I have a friend who is She used to come here and shop all the time. Show him, show him, show him. I think it's really fun that people are wanting to be and willing to be in videos, because I am used to people ducking and running for cover. So, all right, let's see what else there might be. Well, what's for lunch? Yeah, well, for you, huevos, because that's what you eat. I think for me, I might have ceviche. I haven't had any of that since we've been here. It's where they do the, they do like a curing of the, it's raw fish, but they cure it in citrus so that it takes any bad stuff away. And I love it. It's great tasting. And this is a fishing village, so the fish here are very fresh. One thing that's nice here is being able to get a lot of fresh food that is actually made here or grown here. Okay, now we're getting into more vegetales. Yes, it smells good here. Yeah, see, this is nice, is being able to go to a market and not rely on things that are imported and have aged a while. So there you go, huevos. The average person's a little shorter than I am. Okay, we have just about run out of market now, I think, but we will see if there's any more left. Yeah, this seems to be mostly the food end. Oh, that might be, is it Jamaica, which we would say Jamaica? Yeah, and that's made of hibiscus. It's very nice. Oh, this smells really good. I'm not even really a meat eater, and I have to say it's actually tempting. No, there's something about that. Oh, now that is less tempting to me. That reminds me of, no. Mm-hmm. It looks better when it's cooked, we'll say that. All right, I think we are near the end, but you know, sometimes on the end of markets is where the people who showed up late are, and sometimes they are the ones who have the things that we look for. So we're gonna take one more look around this corner, and then I think we'll have run out of market. But I have to say, I'm thrilled to get a nice, now it's not terribly old, but to get a hand-painted Compras casserole for $5, it's pretty amazing. I mean, that's probably a $50 to $75 item. Yep, just around the corner is our last. Yeah. And no, I guess that's it. But we have a nice side street we can duck down if we don't want to walk through all that again. We meet again.
So you've been like down all the side streets? Or you go down that first?
The first street we went through a few, yes, side streets, yes.
Each one.
Yeah, four streets on each side.
We hit most of it. We might have one to go back and see. And I see there's even people set up here, but I think that's your regular street buskers, so very good. Well, very good. Well, I'll be in touch. Thank you. Well, that's very interesting, and I'm glad to have run into somebody who has my cultural background, who I can talk to about things here. El maestro. Maestro is teacher in Spanish. Also conductor right there. Yeah, the statue. The man with the, yes. Oh, interesting. Yeah, yeah. So this is like the CBD rubs that we have in the United States now, I guess, in many places. Okay, well, Oh, we do have a side street here. We can go this way because this will get us out of the traffic and back towards the car. The market's about to wrap up. Our battery may wrap up here soon as well, so we're going to show you what we can while we sprint on ahead here and try to get out of the way of the motorcycles. Ah, I see something I need to see first, though. And that is this. It is from Scandinavian Air Service. And I just like that it's a bag from that. Hello.
Hola.
Hola.
70 pesos.
70. Yes.
¿Entiende español?
Y un poquito, mi español es malo.
Malo. Pues mi inglés es pésimo.
Yeah, you're doing fine. Oh, I don't need the, oh, yeah. Yes.
Déjeme sacar el papel.
Yes, I like old airline bags. They're good sellers in Seattle where there's a lot of airline collectors because of working for both. Gracias. Where I like to sell. Yes, I believe it's still in business. I know that some of the other European airlines like BOAC are gone, and the condition overall is good. Plus, it's nice to have, well, it's a bag I can carry things in. Since I never think to bring them, I'm at the mercy of what I can find. So this was very good. And in general, this is, yeah. It sounds like a very active fish tank. Oh, well, yes. Zeno says it sounds like something else underwater, which I guess is true. So, well, I think, correos, so that is stamps. I know that because I've been a stamp collector for most of my life, and correos is marked on most Latin American stamps and Spanish. It's the post office, exactly. So.
Because you can have correos electronic.
Oh, electronic stamps. Oh, correos electrónicos. Oh, email. Oh, so it's mail. Oh, very good. See, I've known that word for years without knowing really exactly what the definition was. Oh, hello, Lisbeth. Well, I did get something from your part of the world. I'm glad to have you with us, and I'm glad to have gotten to show all of you this. This was a little more exciting for Antiques and Vintage than the last place that we went. So I hope you had fun coming along. I certainly had fun showing you. We're next to some sort of a school here. And then into the center of town, which at some point we're going to get there. I don't know that we'll get to show you because I think our battery won't make it that far. But we're going to walk down the waterfront here, and you might get to see back into the city again. Okay, ready to cross now? Yeah. We were here the other day, and we ran out of battery before we got downtown then, too. So I guess that's just the fate of things. But the downtown, Guaymas was the harbor that we'll show you if we get that far, was first found by discovered by the Spanish in 1539. One of the two native tribes that lived in the area did not warm up to them and drove them out several times. And then in the Spanish-American War, the Americans occupied the harbor. Even though it was a very tiny town, it was considered quite strategic because it was the only good port on this side of the Gulf of California. And then shortly after that, the French occupied the harbor, and were repelled. And it's actually considered one of the turning points in Mexican history when the French were trying to dominate Mexico when Maximilian took over briefly, that they were forced out of Guaymas and were unable to control Sonora as a result. So it's actually got a long history, but it was a very, very small town until really the end of the 19th century, when the fishing industries and various seaport things happened, and then it grew from that point. And that's good in a way, because it makes it a lot more negotiable than larger cities in Mexico. I have to say, I feel more comfortable here. It doesn't feel dangerous. I don't sense that it's just so packed with people that you have people who are maybe in a bad way or desperate. I think the people here seem to have reason to be here. They seem like a very happy group of people generally that I've met. And this is not a tourist town. There is a tourist harbor that's developed over the last 20 years called San Carlos. And that's about 12 miles from here. And it's nice, and it has things that as a tourist you might want. It has better beaches than here and a more interesting waterfront. So we have spent some time there too. But in terms of finding vintage, well, we finally found a place that you can get some. There's actually a little hall in here, so I'm excited about that.
Do that tonight.
What's that?
Do the hall.
The hall? Oh, yeah, that sounds good. And we also will have our regular Wednesday premiere. So please tune in for that on the main channel. And we will also have our, for our level 3 members, our monthly chat will also be tonight. We'll be talking about what the trends for 2023 are. And the reason we're going to talk about what's supposed to be trendy in 2023 is because for a whole lot of reasons, antiques and vintage are supposed to be trendy in 2023. So since that's what I'm into, I'm excited about that. And I can't wait to share that with the level 3 folks. So we will definitely see more stuff and more fun. And Zeno walks a little faster than I do, but you'll at least get the feel of the waterfront from here. He's loaded down with the camera, and I've loaded down with some kind of heavy stuff. Okay. So we're probably about out of battery. Maybe we should, not yet? Okay. Well, as long as you folks are willing to stick with us, we'll stick with it until it shuts off and tells us there is no more.
We're close.
We're close to where the car is? Okay. Yeah, I think I'm reoriented. I see where we are now.
Skate park.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, the waterfront here really
Skate park.
is an industrial waterfront, and so we see the skate park, and that's about it. They're talking about really wanting to redevelop this. I think they see what's happening in San Carlos, where the tourists are coming, and realizing that they're missing out a little bit here. A lot of government buildings are right around the downtown here, so it's really more of a, it's more of that kind of place. And because of that, the downtown, the waterfront is a little bit run down, as you can probably see behind us. And there's the car. Oh, very good. You have a good sense of direction. And we didn't fall down and trip over any potholes or anything, so I think we're doing well. I'm trying. I don't know where the camera is. I see the hole over there. So we will step up, and there we go. You can see a little something behind us. In any event, we will wrap up here now. I thank you all for watching. This was a lot of fun for us. I hope it was fun for you. We'll try to do a live haul later as well on top of all the other stuff we're doing. And we will see you then for one of those activities this evening. So thanks so much for joining me. And it's nice to be here in Mexico and bring you some of that flavor. Bye for now.